This is the Whole Care Network. Helping you tell your story one podcast at a time. Content presented in the following podcast is for information purposes only. Views and opinions expressed in this podcast are solely those of the host and guest and may not represent the views and opinions of the Whole Care Network. Always consult with your physician for any medical advice, and always consult with your attorney for any legal advice. And thank you for listening to the Whole Care Network.
The following podcast sometimes offers unusual solutions to usual problems. These solutions are meant for qualified agencies or individuals to put into action. And I'd be willing to bet that's not you. Listen, folks, we don't take ourselves too seriously. Neither should you. So, let's go have a laugh. Welcome to Unscrew It Up, where we offer differently twisted solutions to life's little problems. I'm Josh.
I'm Amanda.
Amanda, last week was pretty exciting.
It was? I don't remember last week.
Last week in our show.
Oh.
We talked about kitchens and we talked about restrooms.
Right. This combination wasn't a very good one. Not sanitary-wise, anyway.
We've had a lot of time to think about public restrooms.
Yes.
Do you have any additional thoughts? Have you come up with additional solutions?
I have not come up with additional solutions. I'm very interested for when we go to the UK this summer. It's my understanding that the public restrooms are pay. And so, I see how this causes some equity issues. Two, I want to know if the cleanliness of their restrooms is more. So if we institute some sort of having to buy into the system to support the cleaning of the restrooms.
Well, I don't know that the money goes back into the restroom. As with most governmental things, the money probably goes towards the politicians. Who knows? I do have a thought, though.
Okay.
A problem that we did not necessarily address on the episode that I remember is the issue of public restroom noises.
Oh, what? White noise canceling? Is this what we need in the restrooms?
We need some sort of solution for, I don't want to hear Clark W. Griswold next to me like having a real problem getting things to work.
Yes.
So the perfect answer is you get your own pod and you go in there. No one can see you. No one can hear you.
No one can smell you.
No one can smell you. That's right. You do your business. You leave, and then the pod is thoroughly like jet washed.
Yes.
They just run soap and jet, and then boom, and then we're done. Which, we talked something similar to that, but I think the idea of a pod, and it would actually be kind of cool if the pods were like hanging off of the ceiling.
Oh, how do you get into them?
Well, I don't know. The idea of a bunch of bathroom pods hanging on strings on the ceiling is really intriguing to me.
No, it's like cocoons. I don't like it.
So I don't know how practical that is. I was thinking about issuing everyone who went into the bathroom noise-canceling headphones.
Right. Those are expensive, though.
They're expensive, and then again, you're getting someone else's ear juice on you when you're...
Juice is so disgusting.
And it's kind of hard to clean something like that because it's got electronic equipment.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it can't necessarily get wet, so it's probably not easily cleaned. I was thinking about another device that they could issue you that might solve this problem, and it's equipment that already exists, and so you'd probably just need to make a couple of little tweaks. Issue everyone a scuba set.
Oh God!
The breathing device.
Yes,
and
yes.
the tanks that you put on your back. Issue everyone a mini one of those as they're going into the bathroom. They go in, they do their business, and then when they're done, they can turn that thing in, and that can be easily washed because, hey, it goes in the water. I would also want some sort of attachment that you, like earplugs or something that you can put in your ear, or maybe it's just like a helmet, like those old-timey diving bell helmets.
The dive helmets, yes.
Yeah, the big brass things.
Yes.
Maybe get one of those. But we wouldn't call it scuba because scuba stands for self-contained underwater breathing apparatus.
Yes.
We changed that to self-contained in-bathroom breathing apparatus. A SCIBA.
SCIBA, okay.
So everyone would get a SCIBA helmet, go, do whatever you need to do, turn it back in, pressure wash it, done.
Who's funding all of this?
Not my problem.
Okay.
Wilson Technologies, I don't know.
Okay. I mean, sure, I don't want to wear the giant dive helmet, but okay. I
mean,
feel like
another
it would hurt my shoulders.
A lo-fi solution to that is that when you go in, you're playing like deafening heavy metal music. You can't hear anything, so you're definitely not going to hear, Boris in the next stall over.
Yeah, headaches though. So at our office, because it is an open cubicle space, we have not noise canceling. We have white noise speakers that hang down from the ceiling. Above every cubicle is a wire and then a cylindrical speaker that just points straight down at you, and it's pumping white noise throughout the building. It's supposed to kind of muffle, because a lot of us are having conversations on Zoom meetings, etc. I don't really think that it works. And so I would offer this technology, but maybe I've never heard it turned off. So maybe it's much louder in there.
I'd like to learn how to do white noise in my head. That must be an insufferable place to work, though, because you can't actually talk to people. It's just like... It
really doesn't work that well.
Okay, so instead of heavy metal music, you just pipe circus music right throughout the bathroom. It fits, and everyone will have a giggle, like you're raising the mirth level in the restroom anyway, which... Trust me, the least happy place on this planet
is a public restroom.
No one wants to do what they have to do. No one wants to be there. But if we inject a little life, have some circus music to go along with the sound effects, maybe issue like a little red nose. I don't know.
And then that keeps you from smelling. It's like
a little nose clip with a little red ball on it. Perfect.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, people will want to go to restrooms. Well, I mean, I guess people want to go there now, but people will enjoy themselves in the restrooms. Not that way. Not that way.
I didn't say anything. Thank you very much.
The other thing that we talked about was we did talk about kitchens, and I've been considering that. I think that I'm going to commission Wilson Technologies, which, by the way, Wilson Technologies is our parent company of Familiar Wilson's Media, and they are just invested in solving your problems in 3 weeks' time.
Oh, this is the first I've heard of the 3 weeks.
Well, it's our new motto. We're testing it out.
Okay.
Wilson Technologies, I've tasked them to create these special pots and pans. So one of the things that I don't like about kitchens is I don't like that you have to have so many utensils.
There are a lot of wooden utensils in our
Lots
drawer.
of utensils, and a lot of the utensils we have are doubles and triples of other utensils that we have.
Yes.
Because we'll buy a set, or we think something looks cool, or, oh, this has rubber on it, or whatever.
Yeah.
What I was thinking makes the most sense is have Wilson Technologies create pots and pans where the handles are detachable, and each handle of your pot and or your pan is has the utility of like two utensils. So one end will have like a spoon, and the other end will have like a fork or a knife or something. That way, each pot has with it two utensils. When you're not using it, or when you need to use it to lift up the pot, you connect it, you lift it up. Or when you need to put it away, you leave it connected, you put it away. Save a ton of space, cut down on clutter, only have the basics. Really, we only need like 3 utensils, right? Mm-hmm. Something to scoop, something to cut, and something to skewer, right? Okay. Poke, scoop, cut. This is what I've always said.
You do often say that while you're cooking. Yes. Just over and over to yourself as you're cooking.
That's right. So that's what Wilson Technology is going to create, these pots and pans that have the utensils built in. We're going to save... we have 2 drawers right now that have utensils in it.
We do. We have 2 separate drawers.
Ridiculous. The amount of spoons that we have, by the way. Can we talk about that for a second? Yeah, Why do we have enough spoons to have a dinner party with the entire state of Rhode Island?
First of all, when you buy a silverware set, you get the big spoons and the little spoons. So we have the bigger, like, cereal spoons, and then we have the smaller, like, sugar spoons. But then you also went a little crazy and bought a set of like 8 sporks. So they live in the spoon.
The sporks should have replaced all of our spoons and all of our forks.
Very rarely do I want a spork. There are only certain, like a thick chowder, maybe I want a spork for.
Well, I'm not going to give up with my evangelizing of how awesome the spork is. I can tell that I'm not going to reach you right now, but I am going to convert you. But enough of that utter nonsense. We will check in with Wilson Technologies. You notice that we tasked Wilson Technology with all these things, but we've never had a completed project yet.
I need their quarterly reports. Has it been a quarter of this podcast
actually, no.
yet?
This is only episode number 9 or 10
all
or
right,
something
so they've got a little bit of time.
Okay. But we've given them a lot of things, and to be honest, I don't know who works there. I don't remember hiring anyone there. So maybe I should get on that.
It's just an empty building like Twitter.
That's right. Okay. Let's move on to solving the world's problems.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Wilsons will now unscrew it up.
Mornings. Mornings. You know, Amanda, as the old song says, getting up is hard to do.
I'm pretty sure that's breaking up, but getting up is hard to do, both physically and mentally.
So I figured we'd turn our tremendous brain power towards fixing this for everyone. And in the last 3 years, mornings have only gotten more difficult. Because to be honest, everyone just wants to stay asleep. No one wants to face this world. Everyone wants to dream the lovely dreams that they have. So we need to figure out how to make waking up and how to make mornings more pleasant and more doable.
Well, it's gotten even harder since everybody worked from home. Now, you never got to work from home because you're an essential worker and had to continue to go. But I was working from home. The kids were doing school from home. We would sleep up until 7:59 and then wake up and roll downstairs or roll onto a Zoom call for class and then do life. So it is that getting back into what time does our alarm go off? Some ungodly reason, 5:45. Not that we pay attention to it.
We don't. We snooze it. But yes, 5:45 every morning.
Yeah, that's been a fun adjustment, even though we've been back in the world for 2 years.
What we do on this podcast, by way of recap, if you're new, is that we come up with a bunch of solutions to this problem, to various aspects of this problem, and then we forward it to a person or an organization, and what they're going to do is take our ideas and make them happen. They're going to give wings or feet to our ideas. They're going to put our ideas on a fast-track conveyor belt and make sure that...
What if it gets wings and feet, like tiny little Cupid?
Then it would be a griffin.
Or a griffin. Okay, so who this week is going to problem solve mornings for us?
The Folgers coffee people.
Oh, good. They don't make great coffee, so they've got some time.
Are we not drinking Folgers
we are,
right now?
And it's fine.
Yeah. Okay, so how many solutions do you have?
I have, let me check my notes, 4.
All right, I the way I organize my notes this time are weird, so I'll just let you go first, and I'll figure out what I'm doing from there.
All right, so I had one, and I'll save it for later, but it was like my really definitive one. Like when I think about what do I wish was different about the morning, I came up with a solid one. Then last night I was in the car with the 6-year-old, and we're driving to pick up his sister, and I said, hey, buddy, what's hard about mornings? And his response was waking up. So yes, this is probably the hardest thing for everybody. I asked him, what can we do to fix waking up? And he said, take a nighttime nap. Well, that doesn't really make any sense because a nighttime nap is just napping. So I am proposing morning naps, but meaning not morning naps mid-morning. Like you get up, you do a little bit of your routine, and you go back to sleep for a little bit. You get a little power nap in the middle of your morning routine. So maybe you get up, you shower, you brush your teeth, lay back down, have a 20-minute nap, then you get up and you get dressed. Or maybe you get up and you make the breakfast for the children or yourself and make the lunches, lay back down, have a 20-minute nap, then you get up and get your shower. I am suggesting that we power nap in the morning.
Okay.
What? I don't understand this confused look on your face.
Well, I mean, once I'm up, I'm up. I can't go back. Once I'm
then
up,
this
that's
isn't a
it.
solution for you, is it?
But see, that's the thing is that for me, like the initial getting up, that's the hard part.
But if I know I'm going to get to have a nap in a little bit, it's like a reward.
Okay.
You do the thing and then you get the thing. You do the
Okay.
thing, you get a 20-minute nap.
Okay, well, I will say this, that you have nailed it, that the primary problem, of course, with the mornings is getting up out of bed, waking up. We have taken steps as a society to try to induce people out of bed. There are plenty of negative things that cause us to want to wake up or cause us to have to wake up. We're on a schedule. We have to get up to go to work. We have to get up to go to the bathroom. Like there's a lot of reasons why we have to get up. But what we want to create is reasons why we want to get up.
Sure.
Making the experience outside of the bed more pleasant than what's currently happening to you in the bed. And I think therein lies the key. We already kind of have that. We've invented this meal called the American breakfast that's basically dessert. Now, I contend that the reason why we've created this super sweet meal or dessert in the morning is just to get our asses out of bed.
Okay. I don't like sweet breakfast. I like
I know,
savory
but
breakfast.
enough people like it that it works.
Right.
If you wake me up and said, hey, cupcake, I'm like, well, okay, I get to have a cupcake. So that's going to be enjoyable. And that's basically what we've done. What are other things that we can do to make the experience outside of the bed more pleasant than the experience in the bed? Well, you set an alarm, and instead of loud noise, slowly your bed just starts to get colder.
Oh.
So that's the one thing I really love about being in bed is that I'm nice and warm. But if the bed environment gets colder and it's warmer, in the room, then I'm going to be like, okay, well, I feel better now.
Yeah.
So there's
Okay.
that. Or another thing is that let's say you situate your bed in the middle of a giant bath, right? From now on, all
Just
beds
roll out and drown. What is wrong with you?
No. But what it is that, like, this would also solve the morning shower problem, is that slowly, as your alarm goes off, slowly, nice,
The waters rise.
warm waters rise around you.
Pee all in the bed because warm water.
No, then the bed, lowers to the floor. The bed is gone, and now you're just pleasantly floating in this water.
This is a safety hazard rife with many, many problems. No, sir.
You'd have to have, maybe you can get your skibba. And you
have to want my skibba.
And you put it over your mouth. But in other words, now you're out of your bed and you can kind of float over to the edge and you're already getting bathed. See, here's the thing. They looked at Einstein like he was crazy, the Copernicus, crazy. A couple of these jokers they burned at the stake because they had revolutionary ideas. Guess what? The world isn't flat. Guess what? We should wake up in a pool of warm water.
Guess what? We can't all swim. Gonna drown.
I'm not saying that it's past the deep end or anything. I'm just saying that we wake up and it reminds us of our time in the womb.
It does sound very like in utero-esque. Yes, I got it.
So, making the environment outside of the bed more pleasant than in the bed. Either make the bed colder or you have this nice warming bath. Maybe it's a saltwater bath so that you float naturally.
Well, it would need to be.
And then that wakes you up. It also cleans you. You skip the shower. You're done. You could not have had a nicer waking up experience.
All right. So, but here, solve for this. What about couples who need to be up at different times?
Separate baths.
No. So separate beds.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Excellent.
And then you just have your intimacy bed over here, right? And that's when you all want to get together. And then you sit down, because when you're sleeping, you sit down in your pod and your.
Okay, so everybody needs to have a giant bedroom. Got it. For all the beds.
No, because your pod doesn't need to be that big. If it's just you sleeping in it. Listen, this works. No more questions. Move on.
Okay. Well, that is similar to one of the solutions that the 6-year-old gave me. With another problem with the mornings is not wanting to go to school.
Sure.
So his solution was make school more fun so that you want to go there.
Okay.
All right. And I started thinking about it. I'm like, nobody wants to get up, right? Nobody wants to get up and go to work. Nobody wants to get up and go to school. No. But I remember vividly when I was growing up, the only time I was super excited to get up without very much sleep was when we were going to Disney World. We went to Disney World a lot when I was growing up. We only lived about 45 minutes from it. It was not the bankrupting experience that it is now. And I loved waking up and, even when you were a teenager and you still had to get up at 6 so you could be there, you didn't have a problem with it because it was really, really exciting. So we've got to figure out a way to make whatever we're going to do more exciting. You're saying make the bed experience unpleasant. I'm saying make whatever it is you're getting up for more pleasant. Now, I don't have a solution for this because the 6-year-old just told me to make school more fun, make work more fun. My work is trying to institute Spirit Week. I'm not really here for it. I don't want different dress up days that they're doing in a week or so, but there's got to be something that I need to be able to go there for. Now, I love coffee. It is the one thing that I get up in the morning for, but I don't need to go to work for coffee. So I'm putting this out to the audience and or to you. Can you think of a way to make work more enticing, so we're going to want to go to it.
Can we talk about the Spirit Week
No,
thing?
I don't want to talk about it.
I think that the last thing you want to do to make work more enticing is make it just like middle school.
It is.
No one has pleasant experiences from middle school. I swear, if your work says, okay, the next thing, prom. I don't know. Maybe that would be good. I don't know. Another solution to possibly get up in the morning, and I actually think this technology exists, is to have a bed that your alarm goes off and it starts to tilt up.
So you just cannot sleep in it anymore?
It starts to tilt up until you're standing, and then it goes down and you're standing.
Yes.
So half the effort for me of getting out of bed is actually physically getting out of bed. I've told you before that my process of getting up now is basically a 7-step process with lots of grunting and resting in between each
That's
step.
right. Morning nap. See what I'm saying to you? You start waking up a little bit, then you take another power nap.
So if I had a bed that stood me up, that would solve a lot of the problems.
When I was in college and had my first apartment, and so the accountability of getting up and going to class was on me, and for some idiotic reason, I registered for a first period, because at the University of Florida, they're still called periods, chemistry class, 7:30 in the morning, which meant I had to leave the apartment at 6 because I had to get the bus, blah, blah, blah. This is before the AI alarm clocks or the phone alarm clocks. I had a physical alarm clock and I put it in my bathroom. So I had to get up and go turn it off in the bathroom, and then I was in the bathroom. The Amazon device has done us a disservice because we can just yell from wherever it is we're laying down to stop it and keep sleeping.
Yeah,
so
it has a snooze feature.
We need to go back to physical alarm clocks. The other thing that our existing technology is the alarm clock that mimics the sunrise. So even when it's in the winter and it's dark, it's still gently, like, the light gets brighter and brighter. And my smartwatch has an alarm that you can choose smart alarm. So it's tracking your sleep cycle. And if you say I need to get up at 6:30 and you choose smart alarm, it will sense where you are in your sleep cycle and wake you up at a time earlier that you're in a lighter sleep and it would be easier to get up.
Ah, hell no.
But
Do not wake me up early. What is wrong with you?
I hate sleeping with it on. It doesn't feel comfortable, so I don't use that.
That would make me unable to get to sleep if I knew that I had this game of sleep roulette happening. If I knew that arbitrarily my watch was going to wake me up at a time I didn't ask for, that would stress me out so much that I wouldn't be able to get to sleep.
I've done it a couple times, and it's usually like 15 or 20 minutes earlier than what the alarm is set for.
How about later?
But no.
Oh, she needs to sleep in. Oh, okay, I'll be nice to her.
Yes.
No. Well, it's funny because you talk about this lamp. I looked at those online with the thought of ordering one recently.
Okay.
Because I know how effective sunlight is, and talking about the circadian rhythm and how naturally when it's dark we want to be asleep, and we create a lot of problems with ourselves where we try to wake up before the sun is out and where we try to go to sleep way after the sun sets. So I was looking at these lights to try to fool myself, and I don't think that they're big enough. So one of my things that I propose as a solution is giant lamps on the outside of your house, like sun lamps.
Yes.
You set them so that the sun can rise for you anytime you want.
I like this idea because it is disheartening in the winter to wake up and it's like pitch black outside and 7:00 in the morning and you've got to get up. I don't like it.
Right, and we need to fix that. And so I was actually looking for sun lamp panels that we could put in our windows.
Yeah.
Probably easier just to get giant sun-like lamps outside of our house. Now, will it bother other people? Maybe. I don't know. We got to figure that out, but that's not going to stop me.
Well, if you're shining it into your window, and it's minimally going to bother other people. And it's only going to bother other people if they're already outside. They're already outside. They're awake. They're fine.
Excellent. Okay, we'll make that happen. What is your next thing? Oh, before you do your next thing, we talked about these alarm clocks that actually roll away from you. Remember this?
Oh,
it was
I don't
when we were
remember
talking
this.
with Leo. We were talking with Leo, and we were talking to him about different products. And there's this one product, it's an alarm clock that's basically a cylinder on wheels, And when you go to turn it off, it rolls.
You have to chase it?
It rolls away.
I'm not playing chase in the morning. I'm not doing that.
Oh my God. I would have it just for the novelty of it. I mean, I'd break it after the first
Yeah,
day.
you throw things at it
But
or
that's
throw it.
hysterical.
Yes.
That is hysterical.
So one of my problems in the morning is waking the children up. Not so much the 6-year-old, but the 16-year-old. It is my least favorite thing in the world to do. We fight a lot in the mornings, and I've been told by her that I can't be mad about how grumpy she is because she's not awake. She doesn't know she's doing it. Then she wakes up and says, I'm sorry. But it's like a 45-minute process that I have to go back every 5 minutes. And so Again, I'm coming with problems, not a lot of solutions. I'm leaning on you in your infinite wisdom in this space. I'm leaning on the listeners to help me. I need something to come wake this child up. Now, the AI assistant Amazon lady doesn't work because she'll, do the alarm and it just keeps going off and off and off, and the child keeps telling her to stop and I keep resetting it. I need something to physically wake her up. So I don't know if it's a robot. I don't know if it's someone we employ to live in this house. When you have a newborn, you can employ like night nannies that will come and be up with the baby in the night so the parents are getting sleep, especially if they're having to go to work. And I need the opposite of whatever a night nanny is. I need a morning nanny. I need somebody who's going to wake this child up. While you're at it, make their breakfasts. I mean, not their breakfasts. I don't mind making breakfast. While you're at it, make their lunches.
So what you're saying is we need Jeffrey from The Fresh Prince. We need a butler.
He's snarky enough that it would work.
Yes. Okay, so should I add that to the list? Jeffrey. I feel like Jeffrey solves a lot of our problems and might even make this podcast obsolete. We just need to have a butler.
Okay, but it's not feasible for everybody to have a butler, right? And also there might be some ethical implications for me just making Jeffrey wake the children up. I am suggesting that we get the hologram version.
Hologram Jeffrey?
Hologram Jeffrey, and it can also employ the technology of the alarm clock that rolls away from you and or towards you. So it will be there and she can't get rid of it. It won't go away. She can't say, Jeffrey, stop it, and he'll stop. He'll just be there, and then he'll follow her around until he corrals her into the bathroom, and then she's in the bathroom to get ready. Can also he take the dog out in the morning?
No, because he's a hologram. He can't touch things or hold things.
All right, fine.
Choosing clothes.
Okay.
It's a difficult thing for me in the morning because I'm not really in the place where I want to use my brain, and I'd much rather have it done for me. And assuming that we don't have a Jeffrey, adding a little fun to my day, I want to load all of my clothes up into a giant machine that has an arm on the side. I pull on the arm like, a slot machine in Vegas, and it's got the little rolly things on the front. So this shirt, this tie, these pants, and then it dispenses it, and then I'm ready to go. And so I'll be excited to wake up to see, what do I win today? What outfit do I win today?
Actually, I appreciate this technology. Also, I was going to say, but then you've got to make sure that whatever the combination is matches. That's not a problem for you.
No, it's really... Wait, why?
Because
Wait a
you
second.
like power clashing.
Fashion is my life. Next.
Well, if I can't have hologram Jeffrey, part of the reason why it's hard to get the 16-year-old, but also hard to get us up in the morning, is that we don't get enough sleep. And we go to bed, but then I get in bed, and then I do the thing that I know all the science tells me not to do, which is I start playing a game on my phone. I start listening to a book because my brain turns on at night, right? I have a hard time shutting it. Well, I mean, my brain's on all day, but I have a hard time shutting it off at night. So very much similar to the technology or the concept that I gave last week to our listener letter about the kitchen is closed. We need to employ this technology for the whole home. So all the devices go off, the TVs go off, the Wi-Fi goes off, the cellular signal goes off. It's going to be an emergency line should you need to call 911. The lights are off. You can't be on your phone. You can't be watching TV. Really, the only thing is to lie there and breathe and go to sleep. So we need the whole house is shut down for the night, 9:00, whatever time we decide. Everybody's asleep. It makes it a little bit easier to get up in the morning.
So we need lights out like at camp.
Yes.
There would be an insurrection in the house if we tried to institute that. I was thinking about this when I was considering the circadian rhythm, this whole idea of light and dark and when we should be asleep. I would like to try that sometime. I don't know if I'll have the discipline to do it.
Just go to sleep when it gets dark.
No, turn off all the stuff.
Oh, okay.
to not look at the phone and not. That would take, I mean, that's part of our routine, unfortunately. Now, we do sometimes go, or we used to go sit out in the porch when it's dark. And that's a thing that families used to do way back in the day when they didn't have technology. And they would just sit. Would your family ever go sit on the porch?
No, because my back porch was a special thing. And we've talked about this. My dad smoked. I mean, he grew up on a tobacco farm. So my dad smoked, had tried to quit many, many times, hypnosis, the patch, everything. He was not allowed to smoke in the house. So the back porch, he had a lazy boy. He had carpet, like indoor, outdoor carpet. He had a television with cable. And that's where my dad hung out in the evenings. A lot of times would fall asleep. My mom would just leave him there.
Would he just sleep all night there?
Yes. So no, we were not hanging out on the back porch because that was where he went to partake of all of the things that were not healthy for his lungs.
I think as an experiment, we should try to shut all the technology off, go sit on the back porch in the dark, and that will calm us down, and then go sleep and see what happens, or go to the bed and see what happens.
Okay.
How about this? This will help us in the mornings. Shower coffee.
Okay. All right. So this is close to my last one. So go ahead.
Oh, I want to hear it.
No. Coffee is what I need to solve. So go ahead. Shower coffee.
That's just a tube, a coffee dispenser in the shower. Like right next to the shower head, you'll have a coffee head.
I like this. Coffee is very important to me.
Yeah, and then you just suck on the coffee teat for a while, and then you
suck on a coffee teat. Gross.
And then but that'll get you up. Now, the problem here for me, I would just have to be mindful of it or be planful of it because I brush my teeth in the shower as well.
So you have to have the coffee teat first and then brush your teeth.
Wait a second. Okay, new solution. Toothpaste with caffeine in it.
Okay.
Perfect. First of all, I'd probably brush my teeth longer.
Right.
For the recommended time if I knew that there was caffeine in my toothpaste. And it would wake me up. Oh, perfect.
No, but I like the taste of coffee. I don't want to taste coffee on my toothpaste. All right, fine. You can have the coffee toothpaste. I don't want the coffee toothpaste. I want the actual experience of hot, flavored coffee. So we would need to have two coffee dispensers because you would need the one that pumps out the black coffee and I would need the one that pumps out the coffee with cream. My issue is that I want to be able to wake up and have coffee in my hand. Nothing gives me joy more than on the weekends when you bring me coffee in bed. Now, it doesn't happen often, but when you do it, I love it very much. The problem with this is we learned when we had the German roach infestation that they like standing water because we were setting the coffee pot at night with water, timing it, and then it would be ready in the morning. But then when they came and they did the search of the kitchen, they found the roach eggs in the water reservoir of the coffee pot.
Gross.
Setting it up at night is now something we don't do. In fact, we don't even use a coffee pot anymore. We only do a French press because this whole situation was traumatizing to us. I need to solve being able to have coffee when I wake up. Now, if you're a fan of The Office, Michael Scott did something similar because he wanted a hot breakfast when he woke up. So he put the George Foreman grill next to his side of the bed. Before he went to sleep, he laid some bacon slices on it, wake up with the alarm, plug it in, go back to sleep, and then he'd wake up to the smell of bacon. Well, in the episode, he forgot to shut it. It was on. He stepped on it. He George Foreman grilled his foot.
Oh.
Is a problem. We get robot vacuums. Why can't I have similar technology that will seal off the water so that the bugs aren't getting into it? And then it turns on, it brews the coffee, it dispenses the coffee, it dispenses the cream, and then it brings it to me into the bed. Then hands it to me. This is what I need. Coffee delivery pod.
I think that technology close to already exists.
Okay, well, then Wilson Technologies can just push it right over the edge.
What if we were to set up a coffee maker in our bathroom?
Well, we've talked about that. We talked about how there's this extra space in the bathroom we didn't know what to do with, so I've put 7 hampers there in the off chance that you will actually put clothes into a hamper. We talked about setting up a coffee station. The problem is there's not a plug there. So unless we get a battery-operated coffee maker, I don't really know how to fix that.
What if we were to modify our shower head so that you could put coffee grounds in it.
And then I wash my hair with coffee?
No, then so you make your coffee in the shower, then you take the grounds out with the filter, and then you take a shower. Perfect. That's an even better solution than the separate tube. It's all in one tube. I've often said is that we should only have one tube.
Okay, all right. I'm out of solutions.
We have 11 things.
Holy cow.
We are
I only
very
had 4.
invested in this whole thing.
I really feel strongly about not getting out of bed in the mornings.
We have morning naps. We have waking up by making the beds colder. We have warm bath / bed. We have a bed that will stand us up. We have giant sun lamps outside of the house. We have hologram Jeffrey. Slot machine clothes. Coffee shower tube. Shutting off all technology and having lights out, coffee toothpaste, and waking up to a coffee robot.
I will fight you to the death over my coffee robot. You can have whatever. No, you can't have whatever else you want.
All right, so
what you cannot have is the water bath thing. People will drown. There will be lawsuits aplenty. No.
All right, so coffee robot. I want to have, with all of my heart, the clothing slot machine.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. It also, if everybody has to do it, then it makes life easier for the teenager to get dressed in the morning too.
All right, go ahead. Yours.
I assume I can't have the hologram Jeffrey.
Do you want hologram Jeffrey?
I want somebody to come wake up these children.
All right, then we'll give you, listen, I'm not against hologram Jeffrey. Jeffrey was cool. Jeffrey was the best part of that show by far.
Yeah, he's snarky. I liked it.
All right, so you're having hologram Jeffrey. I need to have a bed that stands me up in the morning.
Yeah, I'm supportive of that. All right, that's 4. What's the last one?
You pick it.
I'm here for the making the bed colder. It can no, if it's going to stand us up, then we don't need that. I think the sun lamps. I'm here for the sun lamps.
Okay.
Or what would you argue for?
No, I'm happy. There's too many good things on here. Like I want the coffee shower tube. I want the coffee toothpaste. I would like to wake up floating in a beautiful, warm ocean. I just can't think of anything that would be better. But at the same time, this is how we've decided that mornings are going to go for us. Okay, so we're going to wake up because there's giant sun lamps outside of our house, possibly really angering our neighbors.
I don't care.
We have hologram Jeffrey wishing us a cheerful hello on his way to the teenager's room to deal with that mess. We have your coffee delivered to you by a coffee robot.
I love it so much.
And then I get up because my bed slowly tilts until I'm on my feet. And then I get my clothes from a slot machine.
I think it's great.
All right. Well, I'm going to consider this one.
Unscrewed.
He received a letter from the streets.
It's listener letter time. I say letters. There's no paper.
Emails.
Unscrewitup@gmail.com if you'd like to get in touch. This one takes up a little bit of a different tack, though, and I'm really interested in your opinion here. Dear Josh and Amanda, I want to start a podcast. Do you think this is a good idea? How should I go about doing it? Now, we've been podcasting for almost 3 years now, or I think over 3 years, right? Yeah, over 3 years, because it was April 2020 when we started.
Yeah, so 3 years.
Does it feel like 3 years?
Well, yeah, it does.
Awesome.
Only because the world feels like 3 years, not because of doing this with you.
Your role in this podcast, we both have different roles. Like I do the editing and like the music and the little sound effects and stuff. You are purely a content creator.
No, I mean, really, I just show up and talk. I don't even think about it ahead of time. I mean, for this one, I make notes. But you do all of the producing and all of the promoting and all of the having the meetings. I just show up and talk.
What is your opinion? Should this person start a podcast? What are your thoughts on podcasting?
So here's the thing. Podcasting, you need to if you're going to podcast with a co-host, you need to like the co-host and enjoy speaking with this co-host. You might argue some, but that's okay. That's content. doing a podcast on your own seems really taxing because you have to do all of the things, but then you don't have to argue with anyone. But then are you interesting enough on your own to have a podcast? So I'm not really sure, dear listener. A lot of times it's a commitment and you may want to just lay on the couch. And so it really depends on your priorities. What are your suggestions, Josh?
What did you just say? Like, what did you actually just say?
I said they need to know themselves.
That's good. That's good advice. You need to know yourselves. Do it because you enjoy talking. Do it because you enjoy connecting with people. Do it because it's fun. Do it for all of these reasons. Don't do it to make money. Don't do it to make money.
Don't do it to get listeners. That takes a while to build too.
I mean, you want listeners. What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, yes, do it to get listeners, but don't let the numbers drive you, is what I'm saying.
Well, that's true. That's true. They're over, I don't know what the number is now, over 5 million podcasts in the world right now, 4 million, 5 million. And that's only increasing. And especially as the proliferation of these chat bots, the more people don't have to think to make content.
They're just going to chatbot, get their content and speaking it.
Yes.
That's radio. That's radio play. That's radio theater. That's not original
So
content.
there's only going to be more podcasts. So just do it because you love it. If you love doing it, if you have a drive to put yourself out there because you just want to do that and it's your form of self-expression, then absolutely go for it. Otherwise, I don't know. Take up knitting or something. All right, Amanda, I think that we've unscrewed up all that there is to unscrew up, at least for today. I've reached my capacity.
All right.
I have no
more problem solving for you today.
No more problem solving. I'm going to go lay down on the sofa for the rest of the day. We are a part of the Whole Care Network, which is a network of people helping people who help people. I guess that's the simplest way for me to put it. People who are caretakers, they need support too. People who give of themselves need to be given to. People who do all these things need resources so that they can continue day to day to be the person who cares for someone else. And the Whole Care Network strives to provide those things. So check out thewholecarenetwork.com. Lots of exciting things in the future, including streaming radio. More on that as details become available. Until next week, folks, as we always say, whatever you do,
don't screw it up. Bye.
Bye.